I always wanted to study in English. This is the main reason I'm studying here. Because I had a year where I studied in the US. It was hard. It was really hard because at that moment I didn't speak English at all. But then when I moved to Spain, I studied in a bilingual international school, and half my classes were in Spanish and half my classes were in English. So it was fine. I practiced a lot and I'm now pretty comfortable with English most of the time. Having the knowledge to speak two different languages is very useful. I really like that.
Similarly, I also had experience of studying some subjects in English during my high school. Therefore, I don't really have many problems studying in English. However, in some instances, you can tell that I'm not a native speaker, especially during my translation and interpreting classes, where some of my expressions might not be as natural as of a native speaker. Personally, I don't have any issues studying English because I've had a lot of experience with that before coming to the university, but you can tell that I'm not a native speaker, which can be a little problematic considering my degree being translation and interpreting.
Yeah, mainly vocabulary. Sometimes I have different vocabulary. I studied in the IB diploma and I had business management, and I'm studying business, like part of my degree is business as well. Especially in my accounting classes, I study with so many different vocabulary, and then I have a study group, and every time we study together, I just bring this different vocabulary. It makes everyone confused because it's just different words for the same things. That happens to me a lot, not only in that class, but it often happens that I bring up a different word that they don't use here, and it's like, oh, what's that? It also happens with phrases as well. I try to translate things just directly from like literally how they would be translated, and it just means nothing in English. And it leads to funny situations. Usually to overcome them, I just explain a little better. Sometimes I just pull out the Google Translate, which is really useful.
I would say one of my issues is with the register and using the correct register in the situation. Sometimes I might use expressions that are a bit too informal for that specific situation, but being an international student, people understand, and as you experience things, you learn.
Watching movies, speaking English with people all the time, and then watching more movies. Watching movies in English has been really, really, really helpful. Because also it's helpful in a way, but then you also have to realize that real life is not movies. I was expecting everyone to speak like Harry Potter here, and then everyone speaks like very differently. And that was also a hard clash. But usually I just ask people. If something's really tough, I just ask them to repeat more slowly.
Watching YouTube and reading books. Even though it's very random choice as YouTube, I think it's very helpful because you always find a topic that you're interested in the language that you want to learn. And watching it over and over again, the vocabulary just sticks to you. And that is very helpful. Or just surrounding yourself with the language in general, music, books, films, everything like that.
I mean, for me, my friends, the friends I've made here, they've helped me a lot, especially speaking English every day with them, my flatmates as well. Having to live with people who speak English every day and just so many conversations that I wouldn't usually have. Even if I had class in English most of the time, so many things that I would normally not say. And they also helped me a lot with the slang and the way people speak here just naturally, because they're native speakers. Everyone's a native speaker, so you speak as if it was their first language, and I have to act like it's my first language as well. And that's the main resource I've used. It's not a real resource, but I feel like friends do help a lot.
Language Resource Center and their tandem schemes that are very useful for learning any language really, but also English. Library website as well for especially referencing.